Welcome to the iLEAD podcast, a space for real conversations about leadership, systems, and the relentless work of turnaround schools. Today, we're talking about turnaround campuses, what they are, why they exist, and what it really takes to change the narrative. Because here's the truth, we rise to the level of our systems or we fall to them. And at the center of it all, there's one non-negotiable belief. Every single student deserves access to high-quality education led by teachers and leaders who believe, despite and in spite of every barrier, that each student is capable of success. If this isn't what you believe, turnaround work is not for you. A turnaround campus isn't just a school that's struggling. It's a campus where performance has consistently fallen below expectations, often for years. It's a school where the state steps in, where district leaders are forced to intervene, where the margins of failure are so wide that systemic change is the only option. Turnaround work looks like changing leadership at times, rebuilding staff capacity, overhauling curriculum and instruction, implementing necessary wraparound supports, and creating accountability structures that don't just punish, but push forward. And most often, turnaround campuses serve the most marginalized students, low-income communities, students of color, emergent bilinguals, and children who have been underserved for generation after generation, which makes the belief that every child can succeed not just aspirational, but essential. Across the country, thousands of schools remain labeled failing. In Texas alone, about 14% of campuses received a D or F rating in the most recent accountability cycle. In Houston ISD, before the state takeover, 121 campuses were rated D or F. Hey, but after Mike Miles' first year, that number dropped to what? To 18. In Florida, analysis show that of the schools rated F in 2004, only 2% ever reached an A by 2024. California, New York, Texas continue to report hundreds of schools in need of intensive intervention. And in almost every case, these are campuses filled with the state's most underserved children. We can't sugarcoat this anymore. The pandemic didn't create these inequalities. It only spotlighted what was already true. And if we don't believe those children can succeed, then no system, no strategy, and no leader can be the turn of the tide. See, Mike Miles' work in Houston ISD, it's been controversial, but it's also been instructive. He inherited a district with over 100 failing schools. His approach? High quality instruction as the non-negotiable baseline. He's been quoted saying, geography no longer dictates destiny in HISD. I'm going to say it again. Geography no longer dictates destiny in HISD. That's vision. That's grit. That's setting a standard, and that's leadership. Miles doesn't attempt to coach what he doesn't know. He doesn't expect what he hasn't done. His history shows that. It shows results. In Dallas ISD with Destination 2020, and now what he's done in Houston ISD. His leadership philosophy is simple but firm. In reality, what it is, it's get on the boat that we're rowing, or we'll just row without you. That isn't arrogance, that's clarity. Because he knows what it takes. He knows change doesn't come from the treat days or pizza parties for teachers. No, change manifests through systems that are built and followed, through leaders who are equipped, not just appointed, and with a shared vision of shared accountability. And he leads from the through line we cannot escape. If you don't believe in every student's ability to succeed, this work in HISD, what he's doing, it's not for you. Houston ISD's mission statement is clear. HISD strives to provide every student with a high-quality education that meets their needs and prepares them for life beyond the classroom. That mission, it can't be achieved by slogans alone or pizza parties. It must be lived through the variables that underpin real turnaround work. Here are 7 levers that I'm going to give you that go beyond accountability. Number 1, instructional leadership over managerial tasks. Teachers, you're going to like this one. Leaders, it might challenge you. You cannot supervise what you don't understand. How are you attempting to talk data when you don't know how to thoroughly analyze a test question to identify misconception? How are you asking teachers to plan a high-quality lesson if you don't design one yourself with district resources? Number 2, capacity building. Build teachers' skills before evaluating them. Why are you conducting observation walks and writing feedback when you've never sat side by side with teachers in the work? Why haven't you modeled a lesson? Not with a hand-picked class, but with the group that struggles the most. Your title isn't enough anymore to create change. Credibility is earned in the work. Number 3, coherence of systems, curriculum, pacing, assessments, professional development. They all must align. Are you focused on too many initiatives at once? Can you identify the narrative your campus tells? What is the story? What are the 3 big indicators most impacting your students, the students you serve? Are you mitigating those while still pushing every child toward at least 1 year of academic growth? And what do you do when you identify a teacher is not on track to ensure every student has at least 1 year of academic growth? Number 4, rapid feedback loops. Data isn't just high stakes. It's low stakes. It's frequent in the moment checks. Are you waiting for the autopsy data from a benchmark or a common assessment? Or do you know how to support and create 1 to 3 question quick checks that surface where the gaps are in real time? Gaps you can actually respond to immediately. See, I've seen it far too many times on far too many campuses where autopsy data drives every single initiative. You know the ones, 45 to 50 question assessments given 3 times a year across multiple skills. Here's what real leaders know though. Those assessments, they highlight and they show what students know and what they don't know. They shine a light on where instruction is breaking down. The same standards that show up in red across multiple classrooms, across multiple grades, that's not a student problem. That's an instructional system issue. What are you doing when those things are spotlighted? Number 5, resources aligned to needs, money, time, coaching, interventions, professional learning. They can't be one size fits all. What you're doing over here might not be meeting the needs of a campus over there. If language is a barrier for your students, are you supporting language acquisition across the campus, or are you just stacking more skills onto students? Not just in reading or math, but in fine arts too. Are you creating a conversation style campus where students feel that they can take risks to communicate with one another? In science and in every discipline, language acquisition has to be your goal. That has to be your baseline. Number 6, a culture of trust and collaboration. Teachers don't build trust with you just because you ask about their weekend. They build trust when you show up in their hardest class, when you model instruction, when you offer resources before they even ask, when you notice the gap in the lesson before it's delivered. Credibility builds culture. And number 7, persistence amid resistance. Cultural and systemic barriers, they're real. Politics, unions, legacy mindset, the blame narratives. What are you doing to counteract the negativity, the mindset that blames families and students for failure? Leaders flip the script by refusing to pass the blame and instead building systems that hold everyone accountable for the future. And through every single lever runs the same thread: belief in every single student. If you don't believe they can succeed, you won't fight for them. You won't create systems for them, and you won't sustain the change that they deserve. Turnaround work, it's hard, it's messy, and it's often thankless. But it's necessary because every child on every turnaround campus deserves the same high quality instruction and the same belief, the same opportunity as the children in the highest rated schools in this country. Change doesn't come easily and it doesn't come quickly, but it comes through systems built through capacity, through vision, and through leaders willing to take the hits, to run with the bulls, to be the nail that sticks out while doing what's right for kids, because our kids can't wait. And if you don't believe in them, you don't belong in turnaround work. If this spoke to you, share it with another leader, because when we grow the people, we grow the outcomes. And follow the iLEAD Misty Blue podcast on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Until next time, keep moving the needle of success for all students.